Глагол live. Жить, проживать, доживать. Present infinitive. I live, you live, he lives, she lives, it lives, we live, you live, they live. Present perfect. I have lived, you have lived, he has lived, she has lived, it has lived, we have lived, you have lived, they have lived. Present continuous. I am living, you are living, he is living, she is living, it is living, we are living, you are living, they are living. Present perfect continuous. I have been living, you have been living, he has been living, she has been living, it has been living, we have been living, you have been living, they have been living. Past infinitive. I lived, you lived, he lived, she lived, it lived, we lived, you lived, they lived. Past continuous. I was living, you were living, he was living, she was living, it was living, we were living, you were living, they were living. Past perfect. I had lived, you had lived, she had lived, he had lived, it had lived, we had lived, you had lived, they had lived. Past perfect continuous. I had been living, you had been living, he had been living, she had been living, it had been living, we had been living, you had been living, they had been living. Future infinitive. I will live, you will live, he will live, she will live, it will live, we will live, you will live, they will live. Future continuous. I will be living, you will be living, he will be living, she will be living, it will be living, we will be living, you will be living, they will be living. Future perfect. I will have lived, you will have lived, he will have lived, she will have lived, it will have lived, we will have lived, you will have lived, they will have lived. Future perfect continuous. I will have been living, you will have been living, he will have been living, she will have been living, it will have been living, we will have been living, you will have been living, they will have been living. Conditional. Так. Infinitives. To live, to have lived, to be living, to have been living. Спасибо за внимание.